Recent discoveries at former residential schools have forced Canadians to confront heinous crimes committed against their Indigenous people. The bodies of more than 1,300 Indigenous school children have been found in unmarked graves over the past 3 months. They've become a stark reminder of a 120-year-long government policy to separate Indigenous children from their parents and send them to residential schools. Most of them are run by churches, and many of their students suffered physical, emotional, and sexual abuse.
The residential schools were specifically built to take the Indian out of us, to take away our language, culture, and traditions.
It's believed thousands of children died in the schools, their bodies were rarely returned home, their parents seldom notified. Many were buried in neglected graves.
Canada must acknowledge the truth, but we must also understand the truth. Even as Canadians from coast to coast to coast are shaking their heads and feeling guilty and terrible about the shameful past that we are coming to grips with as a nation.
Indigenous people around the world have been marginalized and discriminated against throughout history. Today, their population numbers 46 million across 90 countries, and they continue to struggle to achieve equality. According to the UN, Indigenous people are nearly 3 times more likely to live in extreme poverty than non-Indigenous people. Although Indigenous people account for 6% of the world population, they make up 19% of those living in extreme poverty. 47% of working Indigenous people have no education, compared with 17% of their non-Indigenous counterparts. In Canada, Indigenous leader and advocate Mary Simon recently became Governor General.
Swear that you will be faithful.
The appointment made her the first Indigenous person to serve as the official representative of the British monarch in Canada. But she says much more needs to be done.
We are reminded daily that even though diversity is a core Canadian value, our country must do more to respect all languages, cultures, ethnicities, religions, and way of living.
For Indigenous Canadians, it's time to tell the truth about what happened at its residential schools and find a way to achieve a more just future.